Hey everybody, what's up you guys? It's your name. And listen, we all know first dates can be a little nerve-wracking, am I right? You got the sweaty palms, you're trying to pick the perfect outfit, and then there's that pressure to be charming. But you know what always helps break the ice? Laughter. So if you're looking to make a great impression and keep things fun and lighthearted on your next date, you gotta bring the funny. Don't worry, I got you covered. In this video, I'm going to share 5 tips on how to use humor effectively on a date, from reading the room to mastering the art of the well-timed joke. Get ready to bring the laughter, because trust me, a little humor can go a long way. Let's do this. Alright, first things first, know your audience. This is the golden rule of comedy and dating alike. Just like a stand-up comedian tailors their jokes to the crowd, you gotta figure out what your date finds funny. It's all about making that connection. Now, you don't need to do a whole background check on their comedic preferences before the date. Please don't do that, that's weird. But a little bit of observation can go a long way. Just pay attention to their reactions. Notice the little things, like how their eyes light up when they hear a joke they like. Do they crack up at silly puns? You know, those groan-worthy jokes that somehow still make you laugh. Are they into dry, sarcastic wit? The kind of humor that makes you think for a second before you get the joke. Or maybe they're more into observational humor, the kind that points out the funny little quirks of everyday life. You know, like, hey, have you ever noticed that grocery stores always put the milk in the back corner? Like it's a prize or something? It's those relatable moments that can really get a laugh. The point is, be observant. Pay attention to what makes them smile, what gets a chuckle, and what makes them laugh out loud. See what makes them smile, what gets a chuckle, and what makes them laugh out loud. It's all about tuning into their sense of humor. Once you've got a sense of their humor, you can tailor your jokes accordingly. It's like having a secret weapon in your dating arsenal. And hey, if you're not sure, just ask. There's no harm in being direct. So, what kind of humor are you into? It's a simple question, but it can open up a whole world of conversation. It's a conversation starter and shows you're interested in getting to know them better. Win-win. Plus, it shows that you care about making them laugh, which is always a good thing. Remember, laughter is a great way to bond. It breaks the ice and makes everything feel a bit more relaxed. Share funny stories from your own life. It doesn't have to be a stand-up routine, just something that shows your personality. And if all else fails, take them to a comedy show. Let the professionals do the heavy lifting while you enjoy the shared experience. After the show, you'll have plenty to talk about and laugh over. It's a perfect way to end the evening on a high note. So remember, comedy is all about reading the crowd. Pay attention, be observant, and most importantly, have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, laughter is the best way to connect with someone. Happy dating! Okay, tip number 2. Keep it light and positive. A first date is about having fun, getting to know each other, and creating a relaxed and enjoyable atmosphere. So, avoid controversial topics like politics or religion. Those can wait for later dates, or never, depending on how strongly you feel. Stick to lighthearted jokes, funny anecdotes, and playful banter. Remember, the goal is to make them laugh, not to spark a debate. And whatever you do, stay away from offensive humor. I cannot stress this enough. What might seem funny to you could be totally off-putting to someone else. When in doubt, err on the side of caution. It's always better to be safe than sorry, right? Alright, time for tip number 3, and this one's a game-changer, self-deprecating humor. Now, I'm not saying you should put yourself down or anything like that, but a little bit of self-deprecating humor can go a long way. It shows that you're humble, relatable, and don't take yourself too seriously. Plus, it can be hilarious. For example, let's say you spill your drink. We've all been there, right? Instead of getting flustered, just laugh it off and say something like, "I swear, I'm way more coordinated when I'm not nervous." See? It's self-deprecating. It's relatable, and it lightens the mood. Just remember, the key is to be genuine and not overdo it. Too much self-deprecation can come across as insecure. Find that sweet spot, and you'll be golden. Okay, moving on to tip number 4, share funny stories. This is one of the most effective ways to break the ice and create a memorable experience. Everyone loves a good storyteller, and sharing amusing or interesting anecdotes from your life is a great way to engage your date and keep the conversation flowing. It shows that you can laugh at yourself and find humor in everyday situations. Think about funny things that have happened to you, embarrassing moments. We all have them, or even just observations about everyday life. These stories can be about anything, from a hilarious misunderstanding to a quirky habit you have. The key is to frame these stories in a way that's entertaining and engaging. Use vivid descriptions and expressive gestures to bring your story to life. Make your audience feel like they were right there with you. Don't just rattle off a bunch of random events. A good story has a clear beginning, middle, and end. It should have a point or a punchline that ties everything together. Set the scene, build up the anticipation, and deliver the punchline with confidence. Timing is everything in storytelling. Pause for effect and let the humor land naturally. And hey, if you can work in a funny voice or impression, even better. These little touches can make your story even more entertaining and memorable. Just don't go overboard and turn into a one-person show. It's important to keep the conversation balanced and give your date a chance to share their own stories and experiences. The goal is to make your date laugh, not to audition for a stand-up gig. Unless they're really into that sort of thing, then by all means, go for it. Remember, the best stories are the ones that create a connection and leave a lasting impression. So go ahead and share those funny moments, and watch as your date lights up with laughter and joy. Alright, last but not least, tip number 5. Read the room. This is crucial in any social interaction, especially when you're trying to be funny. This is probably the most important tip of all because even the funniest joke won't land if it's not delivered at the right time or to the right audience. Timing and context are everything in comedy. Pay attention to your date's responses. Notice their body language and facial expressions. Are they laughing at your jokes? Genuine laughter is a great sign that you're on the right track. Are they engaged in the conversation? Engagement means they're interested and enjoying your company. Or are they looking like they'd rather be somewhere else? Disinterest can be a clear indicator that your humor isn't hitting the mark. If they're not responding well to your humor, don't force it. Forcing a joke can make the situation even more awkward. It's okay to dial it back a bit or switch up your approach. Sometimes, a more subtle or different type of humor can work better. Remember, humor is subjective, and what one person finds hilarious, another might find cringeworthy. It's all about finding the right balance. The important thing is to be aware of your audience and adjust accordingly. Being adaptable is key to successful social interactions. And hey, if you accidentally crack a joke that falls flat, don't panic. Everyone has those moments. Just laugh it off and move on. Showing that you can handle a little awkwardness with grace can actually make you more likable. It's all part of the fun, right? Embrace the ups and downs of social interactions, and remember that the goal is to enjoy yourself and make connections. So next time you're in a social setting, keep these tips in mind. Read the room, be adaptable, and most importantly, have fun with it. After all, the best moments often come from being present and enjoying the company of those around you. So go out there, be yourself, and let your natural humor shine through. You'll be surprised at how much easier it becomes with practice. And who knows, you might just become the life of the party. So there you have it, folks. 5 tips to help you use humor effectively on a date and hopefully score that second date. No guarantees, but hey, At least you'll have some laughs along the way. Remember, the most important thing is to be yourself, have fun, and don't take things too seriously. A little bit of laughter can go a long way in creating a memorable and enjoyable experience for both of you. Now go out there and make them laugh. And while you're at it, share your funniest dating moments or tips in the comments below. I want to hear all about your comedic triumphs, and maybe a few fails too. We've all been there. Until next time, keep it funny.